Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm the Book Geek, also known as Kiava, and this is my spring TBR. These spins will cover the months of April, May, and June. Summer doesn't start until the end of June, so I always count June as part of my spring TBR. And once again, we are going to be spinning the wheel 12 times. I'm so proud of myself for sticking to my winter TBR. Of all the books that I chose for my winter TBR, I did manage to get through a majority of them. And I'm so proud of myself for finally sticking to a TBR. But anyways, we're not here to talk about my winter TBR. We're here to talk about some books that I'm going to be reading for the spring. So without further ado, let's get spinning and let's see what books I'm going to be reading. Before we start, let's add a new prompt to the wheel to replace that missing one from the winter. Oh, we got Stephen King. First spin. And we have author I love, which I just put Stephen King up on the wheel, which would be Stephen King, but there's some other authors that I love. Let's replace author I love with, I added a lot of new prompts to the bag as well. Middle grade. Second spin. Okay, this is getting interesting. I don't know if my wheel is just not balanced right or whatever, but it stopped in almost the same place. But anyway, we have Stephen King. Let's replace Stephen King with 2+ authors. Third spin. And we have Mood Read. Let's replace Mood Read with, ooh, Shelf Pick. We have Dust Jacket. Let's replace Dust Jacket with Standalone. We have a fun one. Uno. Uno. I love the Uno option. This will be our 6th spin. Let's replace Uno with, come on, give me a good one, Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, we have Random Word. Let's replace Random Word with Debut. 7th spin. Okay, and we have Any. Okay, let's replace that one with, give me a good one. Oh, new author, author I've never heard of, author I've never read. Next spin. Bookstagram. This will be our 9th spin. Let's replace Bookstagram with nonfiction. God, I hope I don't get nonfiction right now. I don't know if I'm in the mood for a nonfiction book right now. Booktube pick. I hope I didn't just move that. This will be our 10th spin. Let's replace that one with LGBTQIA+. Secret Book. Let's replace Secret Book with Stars on Cover. 11th spin. Okay, and we have Middle Grade. This will be our last spin. Let's replace that with, ooh, Ooh, color wheel. Ooh, another fun one. We have emoji. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go do all my selections and then I'm gonna come back and show you all the books that I've chosen. For YouTube Booktube pick, what I do is I open up YouTube/Booktube and I choose the first book recommendation I see on Booktube. So let's do that. I'm not able to screen record on this phone for some reason, so I will just take a screenshot and then I'll post it so you guys can see. First one I see here actually is an unboxing, but I'm kind of looking for book recommendations and not just people showing me what books they got from subscription boxes. So I'm going to skip that one. The next one I see here is Sci-Fi Books for You. This one is by a booktuber titled The Shades of Orange. Let's click on here. Let's see the first book that she recommends.
I'm going to go with Stolen Earth by J.T. Nicholas. And this is a story set in a future where Earth has become uninhabitable, partially due to environmental reasons, but also because of a war that broke out between the humans and the artificial intelligence. The AI won, and humanity was forced to leave the Earth behind. Now we follow a crew who is on a mission that is forcing them to go back to Earth. And when they go there, things are not as they seem, and they find out that what they have been told about the history of Earth is perhaps not quite true.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. All right, so we have our YouTube Booktube pick. Now, one of the other choices was Bookstagram. So for that one, what I would do is I would open Bookstagram, which is on Instagram. I would open Bookstagram, and the first book-related post that I see there, I'm going to read that book. So let's head on over and let's just scroll through the feed until I see the first book related posts. Okay, we have one here. All right. So, ooh, she got some good books. Books that, I mean, I don't know if they're good or not, but books that I want to read. Oh my gosh, she has a lot of great books on this post. I'm going to take a screenshot of this one. We have To Offer Her Pleasure, You've Lost a Lot of Blood, which is by Era LaRocca. Change, Golf, Pussy, King of the Pirates. Wow. Bunny, The Couple at Number 9, The Woman Outside My Door. These all sound right up my alley. Seeing Our Bones Eternal, Tombs, Mall Rats, Mothered, which is another one I wanted to read. We Can Never Leave This Place, another book by Era LaRocca, The Spite House. I'm really interested in a lot of these. So let me go and do some research real quick, and then I'll come back and let you know which one I'm going to read. Okay, I've decided to go with one of the more recent ones, which is The Spite House by Johnny Compton. This is a horror book with some gothic feels. It seems like a man is on the run from his mysterious past. He comes across an ad about this house in Texas, which, ironically enough, is known as one of the most haunted places in Texas. The owner is looking for proof of paranormal activity, and all they need to do is stay in the house and keep a detailed record of everything that happens there. And I have a feeling a lot is going to happen there. I love the cover. It's very much giving me paranormal vibes. We're going to read The Spite House. For random word, what I used to do is I would go on Facebook and Instagram, and I would make up a post and ask people to leave me one random word. But it was like pulling teeth trying to get people to leave me a random word. I'm not very popular online. And so I got to the point where I told them, if you leave me a word, I'm not going to solicit you for anything. I'm not going to follow up with you about anything. It's just a fun little game that I want to play on my YouTube channel. But it was always hard trying to get random people to leave me one random word. So what I used to do is they would leave me random words, and then I would randomly select one of those words and pick a book with that word in the title. So to avoid all that, as of right now, I've decided I'm going to use a random word generator. Now, I put all words, 15 words to be generated, and I hit the generate button 3 times. The words that I have here are hammer, quiet, adjust, identify, decrease, reading, celebrate, soft, era, loose, bitter, limping, writing, year, and moldy. I'm trying to think if I have any books with any of these words in the title. It was really hard trying to find a book with any of these words in the title, but I'm gonna go with the word hammer and attempt to read Lucifer's Hammer. I have never heard of this book before. It's an older book. It was first published in 1977. And this is the synopsis. The lucky ones went first. The gigantic comet has slammed into Earth, forging earthquakes 1,000 times too powerful to measure on the Richter scale. Tidal waves thousands of feet high. Cities were turned into oceans. Oceans turned into steam. It was the beginning of a new ice age and the end of civilization. But for the terrified men and women chance had saved, it was also the dawn of a new struggle for survival, a struggle more dangerous and challenging than any they had ever known. This is a science fiction post-apocalyptic story. I do like post-apocalyptic stories. For the emoji pick, I spun my emoji wheel and I got the emoji of a present. So a present could be for a birthday, an anniversary, Christmas. I decided to go with Christmas. And I already have this book, I believe, on my Kindle. And it is Secret Santa by Andrew Schaefer. It says it is The Office meets Stephen King. So it's a holiday horror. We aren't in the holiday season, but if you watch my pet peeves video, you will know that that doesn't matter to me. That you can read books any time of the year. So I think I'm going to go with that one. It is a horror, so it's right up my alley. I'm not going to read this whole long synopsis. That one is what we're going to read, Secret Santa. For author I love, I decided to go with I Am Behind You. I'm not going to try to pronounce this author's name. His first name is John. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right based on, you know, their language, their culture, or whatever. I only read one other book by this author before. I fell in love with this author from that one book. And the book I'm speaking of is Let the Right One In. I love that book with my entire heart. You just don't know the feeling that I have inside of me when I think about that book. And I figure if he can write one damn good book, he probably can write another. I think this is another horror book. It's a seemingly beautiful day when 4 average families wake up one morning in an ordinary campsite. But during the night, something strange has happened. Everything outside the campgrounds has disappeared, and the world has been transformed into an endless expanse of grass. The sky is blue, but there is no sign of the sun. There are no trees, no flowers, no birds. And every radio plays nothing but the songs of 60s pop icon Peter something, Himmelstrand. As the holiday makers try to come to terms with this bizarre turn of events, they are forced to confront their deepest fears and hidden desires. Every member of the group has a skeleton in their closet, and each secret they try to bury rises to the surface, taking on terrifying physical forms. Can any of them find a way back to reality? Can't wait to read this! For secret book, I'm going to do a secret video for that book, so I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a secret. For any book, I honestly just reached into a big box that I have of books and pulled out, I just pulled out any book. Honestly, this one is subject to change in the future. Any book and mood read is subject to change depending on how I'm feeling. But for right now, for any book, I decided to go with World Enough in Time. This is a sci-fi book by James Caan. I picked this one up for $1 at the last bookstore in California. Strangely enough, this book is set in Southern California. It's about 2 beings setting out on a quest to track down the creatures who had destroyed their homes and stolen their wives. for purposes yet unknown. The quest would not be easy, for, according to a mortally wounded witness, Josh and Beauty, who happens to be a centaur, mind you, hunted a vampire, a griffin, and a monstrous mutant. For mood read, right now I'm in the mood to read some horror and some thriller. So I decided to pick up a book that I bought recently, and that is 56 Days. This book is set during the pandemic, and it's about a woman and a man who meet in a supermarket. They met 56 days ago. 35 days ago, when lockdown threatens to keep them apart, the man, Oliver, suggests they move in together. And the girl agrees. And today, detectives arrive at Oliver's apartment to discover a decomposing body inside. Can they determine what really happened, or has lockdown created an opportunity for someone to commit the perfect crime? So, right now I'm in the mood to read this. That might change. So, mood read is always subject to change. For middle grade, I decided to go with Amari and the Night Brothers. There's a sequel for this. I want to read this so I can get to the sequel. And you know, I have a student in my class. He was born on the same day I was. He's a book nerd just like me. We talk about books all the time. He see me reading in class, and he's like, "Oh, what you reading, Miss Kiki?" And I'll show him. He'd be like, "I already read it." And he already read Amari and the Night Brothers, and I'm ashamed that I have not read it yet. I'm in competition with a 5th grader, y'all. Yes, I am. I'm just kidding. But it's funny because I was talking about this book, and I had suggested it to him, and he was like, "I already read that." So I have to jump on this and read it before the end of the year so that I can discuss it with him. But that's not the only reason why I want to read this. I want to read this because I hear it is magnificent. For Stephen King, I'm going to read Pet Sematary. It's so ratty. This book is so ratty. I love a damaged book. Oh, look, stuff falling out. I love me a torn, well-loved book. This is the 1st edition. It is so ratty. The cover is torn. The cover won't stay on. Pieces of the book is just like, and I love it. I love it. So, you know, everybody knows what Pet Sematary is. It's a horror book. It's Stephen King. He's one of my favorite authors. I have to read this. And so this gives me the perfect opportunity to jump into this book. For Dust Jacket, I picked up How We Fall Apart. Jamie is the queen bee of Sinclair Prep until one day she's dead. Okay, maybe this is more thriller than I think. Okay, wait a minute. Her former closest friends have no idea what happened to her, or do they? An anonymous poster calling themselves the Proctor points a finger. Jamie has 4 former friends. Each friend has a secret. One day, Jamie goes missing. Which friend is guilty and deserves punishment? Okay, so this kind of reminds me of, oh my God, One of Us is Lying, where something happens to a student and then everybody that is around that student is a suspect. All right, I'm going to skip over a lot of this because they're naming off other people. Akil is Sinclair's prep track star. Crystal, she has a killer sense of fashion. Alexander is always focused on grades. Last but not least, there's Nancy. There's nothing threatening about this scholarship student unless you get in the way of her in the top spot. Did one of them kill Jamie? Who was the proctor? And what will they reveal next? Okay, this is more thriller than I believed it was. I don't know why I thought this was some sort of contemporary book, but this definitely gives me One of Us is Lying vibes. Unfortunately for Uno, the card that I picked was pick 4 more books. I picked up a draw 4, and for my Uno game, when you pick up a draw 4, it means you have to pick 4 more books. What the hell? I think I'm going to pick 2 books on my own accord, and then I'm going to let the wheel pick 2 for me. So the 2 that I'm going to pick are Hidden Bodies, which I've already started, but never quite finished it. I think I marked this as read somewhere because I was damn near at the end of it, but I don't think I actually completed it, and I don't remember everything from it. So I want to reread Hidden Bodies, which is the sequel to You by Carolyn Kepnes, which is a very popular Netflix series. I want to reread Hidden Bodies so that I can jump into book 3, which is You Love Me. Well, all right, we're back at the wheel. We have to spin the wheel 2 more times. Let's add a horror. We have Edgar Allan Poe, which I love. I'm very happy about that one. Okay. And let's replace Edgar Allan Poe with A through Z random generator. Last spin. Thank the heavens. And lucky for you, I already have a horror book picked out right here. That is Shelter for the Damned. Yes. If I'm remembering correctly, this guy, he goes to, like a little hangout spot, like a abandoned shack. And something terrible and strange happens while he's there. I have this beautiful edition of Edgar Allan Poe's Complete Tales and Poems. So I'm going to try and read several poems and stories out of here within the next 3 months during my spring TBR. I love Edgar Allan Poe. He's so fascinating to me. Overall, I'm very satisfied with my TBR. And once again, the goal is not to put a lot of pressure on myself to get through all these books. It's just to have a good time and to have a nice selection of books to choose from. And this is a fun way to do it. So let me know if you read any of these books. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.